Thank you for your interest in Stratosphere. To help you get the most out of your experience, we've created this short video to walk you through getting started. To start working with Stratosphere, the first step is to create a new project. To create a new project from Microsoft Excel, simply click on the Stratosphere tab in the Excel toolbar. Once there, sign into your Stratosphere account. Once you're signed in, you'll see new buttons appear in your toolbar, including one for a new project. Click on the New button here, and name your new project. In this example, we're going to title our project Residential Project. As long as you have this box checked that says Open New Project in Stratosphere, when you press the Save button, Stratosphere will automatically launch your web browser and bring you to the Stratosphere login page. I'm going to log into my account again here. Press Sign In, and now as you can see in the upper left-hand corner of Stratosphere, the residential project is now active. Once you've created a project in Stratosphere, the first step is to add a new document. To add a document to the project, come over to the left-hand side toolbar and click on the Documents tab at the top. Then click the Add Document button. In this screen, you will see all documents you've loaded into your Stratosphere account, which for the moment is blank. To upload a new document, open a folder on your computer with the document you're looking for. Then you can click and drag the PDF over to the Stratosphere window, and you can see the document loaded in. You can also choose to click the Upload button and go through your computer that way. Once you select the document and press the Select button, you'll see the document added to the Documents section on the left-hand side of the page. Once you click the page you want to bring into your project, Stratosphere will start converting that document in the background. You'll see a small loading icon over here, and when the document is done, it will appear on the screen. Now that the document has finished loading, we can make adjustments to this page. For instance, if we want to change the title of this page to Ground Floor, we simply type that in on the right-hand side, and you can see the page renamed at the top here and in our Documents tab on the left. Once you have your plans loaded into the new project, the first step before you can start completing takeoffs is to set the scale for the page. You have two options when setting the scale. You can either choose to type in the scale manually. In this case, we know this plan is 1/4 inch equals 1 foot, and here we press Save Scale. Or you can use a known measurement on the plan to calibrate the scale. To do that, you press the Calibrate Page Scale button here. You find a known measurement on the plan. In this case, we know this length is 10 feet. We zoom in and click as precisely as we can the starting point and ending point of that measurement. And we type in the known distance here, which in this case is 10 feet. Once we press Calibrate, you'll see the page scale is set to that same 1 inch equals 4 feet or 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. Now that we've set the scale on our project, the next step is to start bringing over line items from Excel into Stratosphere through a system we call layers. To do so, choose the destination cell for the measurement you want to create. Then, in the top toolbar, you can select to bring in either an area, length, or count. In this case, we're measuring linear feet, so we're going to use the Add New Length button. When I press the Add New Length button, you'll see this link pop up here in your Excel formula bar, and a 0 quantity pop up in the cell. Now if I switch back over to Stratosphere, you'll see that 8-foot exterior wall has been created here in Stratosphere. To finish up this grouping here, I'll select these two cells, which I know are square feet, and use the area icon and select Add New Areas. For our count of doors, I'll show you another way to do this. You can right-click, use the Stratosphere selection in your right-click menu in Excel, and in this case, we're going to select Add New Count. Now if we go back to Stratosphere, you'll see these 4 layers have all been loaded into Stratosphere. Now that we've created our layers, it's time to start completing takeoffs. To do that, we'll come over to the Layers tab on the far left here and select the layer that we want to be working with. In this case, we'll start with the 8-foot exterior wall. Then we'll come to the top toolbar and choose the measuring tool we want to use. For this one, we'll be using the Line tool, so I'll click the Line tool here. To start measuring, you simply point and click each point along the line, keeping in mind that you can hold down the Shift key to ensure you get a 90-degree angle from your previous point. So here I'll just click a few points along this line, and to finish the shape, you simply double-click. Now as you can see, the 49 feet is loaded in here as the total length for that layer. Now we'll jump down to our next layer, in this case the hardwood floors, and we'll use an area tool because we want to get the area measurement for this space. We'll click on the area icon here and follow a similar procedure, simply tracing the area we want to measure with a point and click. Now you might have noticed on the plan that there's something that looks like a fireplace here that will probably detract from the hardwood floor area. To account for that, we'll use the Subtract Area tool up at the top, which works exactly the same way as the Area tool, but in reverse. Here we'll select this small area here, double-click to end, and you'll notice that brought down the total area for that line item. Another tool we can use to complete area takeoffs is a simple rectangle tool, which is great for rooms that are a perfect rectangle and don't feature any irregular corners like this one here. To use that tool, you simply click in one corner of the room, click in the other, and that automatically completes that rectangle shape. Finally, we'll use the Count tool to account for these doors here, and we'll just simply point and click 1, 2, 3, and 4 doors on this plan. Now that we've successfully added a number of takeoff items to this plan, we might want to make some customizations to each of these layers so that we can easily differentiate between them. To do that, we'll come over to the Layers tab here, select the 8-foot exterior wall to start with, and come over to the Layer Inspector on the right-hand side. We can start by changing the line color here, and I'm going to select a blue color. We can change the stroke style of the line, so either a solid, dashed, or dotted line, and I'm going to go with the dashed. And we can make that line a little thicker than we had it before, up to a really thick width over here. Then I'm going to press this button here that says Update Layer Annotations, and when I press that button, you'll notice that this changes the line to this blue dashed line here. And when you press that button, what that does is it applies any formatting changes to all of the takeoff items in that layer that you've already applied to the plan. So now we'll jump over to the hardwood floors here. We'll come over to the right, and we'll actually on this one start with the background color. And I'm going to use this light blue color that I'd previously used in our selection of previously used colors down here. And I'll adjust the transparency a little bit more so that it's easier to read what's written behind it. I'll change the line color to actually the same blue that we just used there. I'll leave it as a solid line with the same width, and then I'll press Update Layer Annotations, and you can see now this takeoff for the hardwood floors has been updated to that style. I'll leave the ceiling area the same because now we've changed the other area takeoff to the blue color, so there's no competition there. And then with the doors, which we use the Count tool to take off, you have all the same options as you do with an area, where you have the background color, the line color, the style of the outline, the size of the outline, and we'll leave all that the same for now, because what I want to show you is how you can change the symbol of the count. So in this case, we'll change it to this diamond shape here. We'll make those a little bit smaller, and we can also add some text to each of these. So in this case, I'll change that to DR to reference the fact that this is a door. Once I've done that, I'm going to press the Update Layer Annotations button. I'm going to jump over here, actually, use the Select tool, zoom in a little bit, and you can now see we have these smaller red diamonds with the text that says DR inside. And as you can see, now this plan is a little bit easier to read and understand because we have different color schemes for each of our takeoff items. Once you've completed takeoffs in Stratosphere, it's very simple to bring those quantities back into your Excel spreadsheet. You'll notice that for these 4 cells here, we already have Stratosphere links set up when we created these layers in Stratosphere. To update these quantities, all you have to do is press the refresh button in your Stratosphere toolbar. When you press that button here, you'll see all those quantities are brought back in from Stratosphere into our Excel spreadsheet. There is one additional option where you can use the right-click menu to bring in a takeoff quantity to a cell that previously did not have a Stratosphere link. So in this case, let's say we want to add some base molding in the same room that had the hardwood floors, but we want the linear measurement from that takeoff as opposed to the area. So we'll right-click, we'll go to the Stratosphere option, we'll go to the hardwood floors layer, and then we'll bring in that length. And now we've brought in the length of that takeoff to this cell. In addition to all the standard measuring tools in Stratosphere, there are a number of markup tools to help you make notes, call things out, and add images to your plan. To start with, we'll use the highlight pen by selecting the pen tool up here. We'll stick with this yellow color over here, and let's say we want to call out that this is in fact a covered deck. So I'll just use the highlight pen, click and drag, and cover that up there. Now I'll use the note tool up at the top to add a little note about this area over here. Maybe I want to call out what the type of railing is for this deck. So in this case, I'll add that note there, use the select tool to select that specific note I've applied, and then type in, I'm just going to say example note right here. And finally, we also have an image embed function. So let's say we want to embed an image specifically of what type of doors these are. So if I click the image icon right here, then it will open up an image uploader that works very similarly to how you would upload a new plan. So I'll go to this folder on my computer, drag in this image of the door here, that uploads, hit select, and now you'll see if we click on this image here that that door shows up. Once you're ready to share the outputs of your project, there are a couple reporting options we want to show you. To generate a report, click on the Stratosphere drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner. From there you have 2 options. Printing the page, which opens up a full visual of the PDF and all takeoff items you've applied with a legend in the upper right-hand corner. Or, through the same menu, you can hit Print Takeoffs, which prints a formatted summary report of all the layers in your Stratosphere project.
We hope this video is enough to help you get started, but if not, you can always feel free to reach out to us at 858-271-8346 or send us an email at support@tallysystem.com.